First off, can we get Bruce some tissues? He's been pretty emotional all day. Maybe a hug. First off, I'm sure it's going to come out in the speech as well, but just to say thank you very much for everybody to organise this, and the catering and the ceremony was absolutely gorgeous, as I'm sure everybody would agree.
You're here.
And thank you very much for everybody travelling from so far as well away. People from Britain, Scotland, all around the world. France too, yeah. Amazing country. Also, I'd just say, Marcella, you're looking absolutely gorgeous tonight. I've known Seamus for a very, very long time. Known as his primary school, up to waist height, and I know why on earth? Joking, of course. Best guy in the world. Love him to absolute pieces. And without further ado, the first speech of this evening is Father of the Bride, Tony.
Good evening. On behalf of Seamus and Maricela, I would like to thank everybody again for taking your time and coming to celebrate this very special day. We've got people here from on the west side, all the way from Hawaii to the east, France, to the north, Scotland and UK and Canada, and to the south, which Chris? So thank you so much. On behalf of Maricela and Seamus, we really appreciate you being here. There's people that helped out with this wedding, and we thank you. It couldn't have been possible for this magical night without you. Let's see. I'll tell you a little bit about Maricela, but before I do that, I just want you to know I have 3 other magnificent daughters. I won't go into that today. But Maricela was always very special. She was always courageous and fearless and joyful all her life, and she's done some amazing things. When she was young, she used to love to wear dresses, and she would twirl in them, and skirts would go flying high. So it's now nice that she has somebody to join her in that passion. Now, Maricela has had many titles. She's got High Point Championship swimmer. She's a goalie. She's gotten 3 titles through the U.S. Or the Miss America organization. She also has a title of Fairy Princess. And she got that from a little girl. After she gave a speech at school, a mother approached me the next day and said that her daughter had gotten home and told her that this fairy princess had showed up to school and told her that she needed to eat better and to follow her dreams. And so, those that don't know, she has given motivational speeches to a lot of kids and changed their lives. And oftentimes, even the teachers at the schools would come up and tell her what a marvelous job she did. So, out of all the titles that she has had, I think daughter is my favorite. So Seamus, Susan, David, and Ewan. Oh, there you are. We welcome you to our family. Seamus, there is one thing. Joining our family, imagine yourself on the road and you get hit by a car. You land on the hood. And you're holding onto the windshield and you're going at a high rate of speed. This might have occurred to you in the past, but joining our family, that ride continues. So, Maricela, well, Seamus, let Maricela be who she is destined to be. Back her up, and I know you will, but let her follow her dreams, which I know you will. And Maricela, take care of Seamus. You know what kind of a man he can be. He knows what kind of man he can be. But always encourage him, love him, and be there for him. And so, they say when you are happy, you smile. But when you're truly happy, you smile with your eyes. And if you saw their eyes today, you know how truly happy they are. So let's raise our glasses to Maricela and Seamus. May you always have that smile in your eyes.
Well, first off, I think we've had a lot of lovely things about Maricela and a few horrible things about Seamus, I think, coming up soon. Ewan, get on up here.
I think you should have left it there.
It was comfortable, wasn't it? Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls.
So far, so good.
So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ewan, although you may also call me Ewy, or if you insist, Spewy. And I'm Seamus's older brother and best man.
Yeah.
So in keeping with tradition, it therefore falls to me to share some thought-provoking memories of our groom here, and generally lower the tone of what has truly been a fantastic day. So, again, now before I continue with making the next few minutes somewhat uncomfortable for the group, I'd like to first thank you all for being here and making this day so special for Seamus and Maricela. And for those that have travelled from afar, which is a lot, I'm sure it was well worth it. So special thanks goes to the bridesmaids, who all look fantastic today. Veronica and Angelina, as the Maricela's maid of honour and matron of honour, get a special shout out. And the ushers who after a week of debauchery, managed to scrub up for today. Of course, Maricela's parents, Tina and Tony, our parents, Susan and David. Maricela, of course, you look stunning, and Seamus, your beard looks especially well combed today, so good job. Okay, so many of you know Seamus only as the man he is today, whilst others have grown up with him and will, for better or worse, understand the type of character he was. So, well, as Seamus' older brother, I'd like to paint you a picture of the guy I know. Yeah. 3 pages. This could take a while. So I first met Seamus in 1989, July. Not long after he was born. I didn't like him then. And I like him even less now.
As kids growing up, we were close, spending a lot of time outside together, sharing many of the same interests, an immature sense of humour, something that hasn't changed at all. And when he wasn't trying to grapple my ears, we got on pretty well for the most part. He had an unusual obsession with people's ears. Luggies, as he would call them. You may think that sounds weird, creepy even, and I'd be inclined to agree with you. Anyhow, aside from that peculiarity, for those that know Seamus as a cherub-faced infant are well aware that he had a devilish streak and was generally a cheeky little bugger. So just to run off a few short examples of what we had to deal with growing up. In Pakistan, he managed to flush his Duplo down the toilet and plugged up the sewer system. Not satisfied with that and the inconvenience that it caused, he came back to Scotland and blocked up the foul drain from our house with golf balls when he was practicing his putting, requiring half the garden to be dug up.
Remember that?
About 5 minutes after arriving at Disneyland Paris, he managed to fall into a man-made lake, despite repeatedly being warned not to go near the water. So the people in our hotel looked on bewilderedly at the child soaked from head to toe, his little feet squelching through the lobby as he was getting a colossal telling off from my mum. And he exposed his bum so many times to drivers passing our house that my mum had to start fining him £1 for every time he did it.
I got video on this.
Things did improve marginally through his school years. With no shortage of confidence, Seamus was a popular kid and was always quick to make friends. Academically speaking, the less said the better. And he even had a brief dalliance into the world of music with the violin, which was thankfully short-lived. So it's perhaps just as well that Seamus was a very capable performer on the sports field. He got stuck into pretty much every activity going and played football and rugby to a particularly high standard all the way through school and college. And in case his sporting ability wasn't already clear to those watching, he's certainly not one to shy away from reminding you of his skills when it comes to football, golf, barbell curls, or anything for that matter. Direct quote from Seamus Roy, "I'm hot shit." And if anyone recently read that Facebook message about bowling, I rest my case. Not to be honest, arsing around after high school, Seamus finally starts to get his act together and putting his genial personality and sporting aptitude to good use in something that genuinely interested him, he knuckled down and got his college degree in sports coaching and sports development. And I know for a fact that he's been very successful and well liked wherever he has taught, from Edinburgh to the Florida Keys. But I don't want to give him too much praise, so let's remind ourselves of some of the peculiar quirks of his character. In terms of communication, he is probably the worst person. And when he was making their way today, I think that was a case in point. You ask him a question, he either doesn't respond, sometimes he waits till you finish speaking and then looks at you absently and says, "What?" He'll randomly start beatboxing the conversation. If he doesn't speak really clearly, and if you're over the age of 30, you probably wouldn't understand what he's saying. Quote David Roy, "I never know what he's talking about." He likes milk. I think it's fair to say his diet pretty much consists of three things: fried chicken, Frank's hot sauce, and milk. The secret ingredient to any recipe Seamus has created, for your information, is always Frank's hot sauce. And although I've no right to criticise him here, but this isn't about me, so I will, his relationship with alcohol has not always yielded the best results. After a considerably heavy session on the beverages, he decided to get an ill-advised tattoo dedicated to his drinking buddy at the time, a resident Irishman, Cian. However, it could have been worse. At least he didn't get a tattoo of a whale on his arse. So that brings us nicely along to the stag do. Although it was a joint stag and hen party, the guys and girls did go our separate ways for a brief 5 to 8 hours on the second night. Bad things happened in those 8 hours, and I can't really repeat what happened, mostly because I can't remember. But
Vegas stays in
exactly. But I will share what few memories I do have if anyone wants to ask later on. But no one got roofied or went to jail, so. But in all seriousness, Seamus really is a great guy to be around. He's funny, generous, always up for a good laugh, and has matured at long last into the young man you see before you. As his older brother, I'm extremely proud of him and very much honoured to be his best man. And I have to say to Seamus that in Maricela you've gained a wife that not only shares your humour and interests, but is a smart, outgoing and determined young woman. And most importantly, it is clear that she brings out the best of you. So in finishing up, I would like to offer some brief marriage advice. So brief. So in any given situation, if one of you wants to do something and the other has a different idea, always go with what Maricela is thinking. So if you could just be upstanding and raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Roy, Seamus and Maricela.
Here's your bride.
But I know that Veronica is a beautiful lady, and she's speaking next.
Hi, I'd like to start this off by saying this is not a funny speech. It's long, so I'm sorry. My name is Veronica. I'm Maricela's older sister.
Stories to tell.
All right, Maricela is one of the most 100%, not just saying this because we're at a wedding, giving, gorgeous, and gifted people that I've ever met. She's always been my lighthouse, my heart, my hero, and my best friend. When Maddie and I were deciding where to go after her dance competition in London, our top choice was Scotland. We enjoyed England, but no offense, Alex. There was something truly magical about Scotland, and we were entranced the second we went to the country. We fell in love. Little did we know that trip would change her life forever. After we left Scotland for Greece, I always had to wait an extra 10 minutes after getting ready so that Maricela could write Seamus. At the time, it was really annoying. But now I know that every minute I spent waiting for her was a starting brick for their great romance. Seamus, you've made an impact on Maricela's heart and soul. I've never seen her so complete. You take care of her every moment of every day. Wait. And I know, my heart gets hurt, without a doubt that she'll be safe as long as she's in your arms. When you two are together, it is obvious to everyone that you have something special in your relationship. I wish you both a lifetime of love, laughs, and adventure. As we raise our glasses to wish Marisol and Seamus well, let us remember how lucky we are all to be able to be participating in the opening scene of what promises to be a beautiful love story to Marisol and Seamus.
Oh no. Well, I didn't answer a little Seamus. I don't know who's coming up first.
Both of us are coming up together.
Together. Seamus, short and sweet.
Yeah, I had to go look.
Age before beauty.
What? Didn't know I was going to be doing a speech until this morning.
He's lying. Unfortunately, he's not.
Genuinely not lying here. In fact, funny story, I lost my phone in Vegas, which had my vows on it. So they were written on a Grand Sierra Hotel and Casino Resort card. Turned out alright. Especially the lipstick part. Anyone? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. And on behalf of my new wife and I, a cheeky drink, shall we? Slightly harsh. My bad. Okay. Today, the whole last week, I have one best man, but I know it's a generic thing. I don't even know how many of you guys, 1, 2, 3. 9 best men. It was the hardest thing to pick between them. And I big up to this guy here being the MC. That's 10. And we lost count today how many people we had, by the way. We lost a cigar, but we got that back, so don't worry. Right? It was a very tough decision. But in the end, Yui did a pretty good job. And I had so many drinks, I would tell you a funny story about him right now. But unfortunately, I've had too many, so. My wife.
So I knew that we had to make a speech and I still didn't write it. So there's that. So I don't know what I'm going to say, but this has been...
So that was it.
Then thank you, good night. This has been the best week of my life, and I wish I could relive it over and over again. We are so honored to have every single person who has made that effort of coming, or even just people who haven't been able to make it and just wrote us on Facebook. It means so much to us that you made an effort to be here, and every single person in this room has touched our hearts and has such a beautiful soul that there's a reason why everyone is having such a good time. All of our bridal party instantly became best friends. The reason why they were I ran out of time to write a speech because we all had a stag and hen do in Vegas. What?
You remember?
She was definitely there, by the way.
We shared a house all together, all 22 of us, 23 of us, and instantly best friends. And that just goes along with our rehearsal dinner. And tonight, every single person has such a beautiful heart. It's so nice to see the happiness that weddings do come from it, but it's nice to see that we are truly one family now. And that I love you all.
A toast.
Thank you.